Hey guys, CryptoDad here again, and we've been hearing a lot about this Coldcard vulnerability that, according to the latest reports, has resulted in upwards of $100 million worth of Bitcoin in losses. This vulnerability was a very obscure firmware bug that caused the wallet to generate weak keys. Ironically, after that, they stored that key in a secure element chip. Well, most modern cryptocurrency hardware wallets generate their entropy from within the secure element chip using a true random number generator, and firmware isn't involved at all. So this is not an industry-wide problem. But let's compare this $100,000 in losses to the losses due to crypto scams in 2025. According to the FBI, $11.3 billion was lost to crypto scams in 2025. This usually involved someone being tricked out of their seed phrase. The seed phrase is what you write down as you're setting up your wallet. So the biggest attack surface in the crypto community is not crypto hardware wallet vulnerabilities. In fact, the Coldcard incident was one of the very few where customers actually lost funds. Most hardware wallet vulnerabilities are discovered in the lab and are basically theoretical attacks which are patched before anyone actually loses money. But crypto scams are real, active, and happening every day. There's a new breed of cryptocurrency hardware wallet that attempts to fix this major problem by shielding the user from the responsibility of writing down and recording, storing, and protecting the seed phrase backup. The backups are handled by the wallets themselves, and Descent Wallet has just come out with a new Descent S card that is very versatile. You can create as many copies of your card as you want, and you can create as many backup cards as you want. These backup cards are PIN-protected, encrypted digital cards that hold the backup safely and securely. As an aside, I would like to assure you about the way that the Descent S card generates its private key. There's been a lot of controversy due to the Coldcard issue, where cold cards were generating weak keys due to a firmware bug error. The Descent S card uses a TRNG, what's known as a true random number generator. It's a piece of hardware that is integrated into a secure element chip that is EAL6 Plus certified. The TRNG generates randomness, or what engineers call entropy, by measuring the internal environmental factors, getting the same randomness you would find in nature. This generates a full 256-bit key and combines it with the BIP39 standard, so there are no shortcuts. And this does not rely on firmware, so a firmware bug could not override this process. Today I'm going to unbox the brand new Descent S card wallet, and stick around till the end when I do my evaluation and you can determine whether you feel this card is a right fit for you. So this is my Descent S card wallet, and it comes with one of their backup cards. It's factory sealed, of course. All right, very nice presentation here. Here's the card wallet. Here's the backup card. They're just directing us to download the Descent app. All right, so we'll just go over to the App Store and check for Descent. You'll want to make sure that you're getting the official Descent Wallet app. There's the logo there. So we'll just go ahead and open it up here. And they give us choices of 3 different types of wallets. Now, this is a very flexible app. It can manage multiple biometric wallets, multiple card wallets, and multiple app wallets. But in our case today, we're just going to stick with the card wallet. So we'll choose that. Now, the card wallet only uses NFC. But when you set up the wallet, they're mentioning Bluetooth here, just in case you ever want to manage a biometric wallet. So I'll confirm here. We'll go ahead and allow Descent to send notifications. All right, and then we'll get the card out. They also have a user guide QR code here. So as I mentioned, this uses NFC, so we'll just bring the card to the back of the phone here, and it recognized it right away. So we'll choose create new card. We're going to create a PIN. All right, and then they'll want you to confirm that. All right, and then you just need to scan the card one more time. Very simple. Now it's asking us to do the backup here right away. So let's get out the recovery card. All right, and then we've got our recovery card here. Let's hit backup. We're going to back up the card wallet to the smaller backup card. We'll hit backup here. Reads the card. All right, it wants the PIN that we just set up. So go ahead and enter that. Okay, it wants us to scan the card one more time. Oh, maybe it wants the card. Okay, yeah. So yeah, scan the backup card, and then it wants to scan the actual wallet card. And now we want to set a PIN for the backup card. So the backup card is encrypted and PIN protected as well. You can use a different PIN or the same PIN. It doesn't matter. They're independent of each other. Personally, I like to use the same PIN so I don't have to remember multiple PINs. It just adds to your level of stress. All right, we're going to want to confirm that as well. All right, and then once we've set the PIN for the card, backup card, we'll go ahead and scan the backup card one more time. And that's it. So setup is a breeze, right? Setup is very easy. And then when you want to manage crypto, we'll just choose Get Started here. And now we have an empty wallet, and we can start adding cryptocurrencies. I'll start off by adding a Bitcoin account. You can leave it at the default, or you can just call it whatever you want. You'll be asked for the PIN, and you'll need to scan the card when adding new crypto accounts. And from here, we can add additional accounts, like, say, Ethereum. All right, and then I'll just go ahead and add Solana as well. All right, and then we can just go back to the main screen, and we can see that we have our 3 cryptos here. And we can make deposits, withdrawals, use DeFi, manage NFTs. So if we want to buy some Bitcoin, I believe you can go in here and use buy. And you'll have to use third-party payment processors here. They've got MoonPay, and it looks like for Bitcoin purchases, they only have MoonPay. Perhaps if you wanted more, you might have other options. Yeah, they have multiple. See, if you're buying more, you've got more options. Now, of course, you're going to have to sign up for an Alchemy Pay or a MoonPay account if you want to use either of these methods. I prefer to use my existing exchanges like Coinbase and Kraken, and I'll show you how to do a deposit from my Kraken account. I'll do 2 deposits from my Kraken account, so we'll just go to the Bitcoin account. We'll say we want to receive Bitcoin. We'll copy that into our clipboard. Then I'll go over to my Kraken account. So my Kraken account has some Solana and Bitcoin in it. These are just small test amounts. I always recommend doing small tests first. Let's hit Bitcoin here. So I'll just go into the Bitcoin account on my Kraken portfolio. I'll say I want to send on the Bitcoin network. If you don't know what these other networks are, please don't mess around. Just use Bitcoin. Kraken allows me to save addresses, but I've never sent to this wallet before. So I'm going to add a new withdrawal address. We'll paste in that address that we got from our Descent wallet, and we can call this one Descent card. All right, and then we'll just add that. It's going to send us an email confirmation, Gmail, and confirm that address. We'll go back to our Kraken app, and I'm just going to go ahead and send the entire amount. It's just a small test amount. So we'll hit review here, and then confirm, and there it goes. Now, I told you I'd do 2 deposits. We'll go ahead and do some Solana because it's fast and cheap. We'll go back to Descent. We'll get out of Bitcoin here. And then we'll go to the Solana account. And then we'll say we want to receive. We'll get a copy of that address in our clipboard. Go back over to Kraken. I'm going to tap on my Solana here. I'll choose Send. I'm going to add the new withdrawal address for Solana, which we need to do. We'll tap and paste. You need to have unique sending addresses, so I'm going to call this one Descent Card Solana. And then we'll do the same thing. We'll confirm that in email. Okay, we'll hit confirm address, and we're good there. We'll go back to our Kraken app, and you can see the address has been added down there below. I'll just do a small test, like 0.2 sol. We'll hit review here. We'll go ahead and confirm that. And there it goes. All right, so we've just made 2 deposits into our Descent wallet. So we'll just go back over to the Descent app and wait for those to hit the wallet. Now, as I mentioned, Sol is very fast and cheap. It probably will hit the wallet before that Bitcoin. You have to be patient with crypto transfers from exchanges. All right, so as you can see, the Sol has hit the wallet. So I did want to give you the other direction. A lot of people fund wallets, but they never practice on sending out, which is actually the most important type of transaction you would do with a hardware wallet, is withdrawing funds from the wallet. And that's when you need the card. You'll notice those 2 deposits, I didn't need to scan the card at all because they're public addresses, and the wallet has no problem with incoming crypto. It's outgoing crypto what we need our security measures for. So let me show you an outgoing using this Solana. Before we send crypto, we need an address, just like before you can send a letter, you have to have the address on the envelope. Same thing here. We'll go over to our destination, which in this case will be our Kraken account. We'll say we want to receive crypto. We'll say we want to receive some Solana. There's already a little bit still left in there. We'll carefully read these instructions. And that's the Solana address of my Kraken account. If I want to deposit Solana in my Kraken account, there's a specific address for my account that they give me. So I'll copy that into my clipboard. We'll go back to the Descent app, and there's my Solana balance. We'll go into the Solana account, and this time we're going to say send. We'll paste in the address from Kraken. All right, we'll hit next. All right, and you can see I can send it all. I'll go ahead and send it all. Actually, I'll send a little less than all of it, just so it doesn't complain about gas. So you need a little bit of Solana left over for gas fees. So we'll do this small test amount. We'll hit next and send, and this is where we need the card. It gives me a little warning telling me it's a new address. We know what we're doing, so we'll just hit continue. And now it needs the PIN first of the card, and then we scan the card. So the security of something you know is your PIN, which only you know, and the security of the card is that we cannot send out unless we physically possess the card. So no one can remote hack our accounts because they're protected by the card. It says the transaction is complete. Okay, and now you can see that the Bitcoin has hit the wallet here. So I have my Bitcoin balance now, that small test balance, and the Sol is got a little bit left in it, but that's fine. All right, there are a lot of advanced features to this wallet as well, but I just wanted to show you how easy it is to get the wallet set up and to do some deposits and withdrawals. That's the main functionality of crypto wallets there. And you can explore the rest of the features. So suppose you have lost your card itself, because this is the one that you probably would want to carry around with you. It's just like a credit card, so you can keep it in your wallet. Suppose you lost your wallet and your card, or maybe you dropped the card or something. You would just leave this card at home. And so suppose you needed to do a restore. You would just go into your wallet. We'll hit settings. And then in the settings where it shows the card, you just tap up here. And then you have factory reset of card and to do the recover as well. So with the recovery, we'll just tap. We'll choose recover card, recover with the card. And then you'll be in the recovery process. So it's going to ask you to scan the recovery card. All right. And at that point, you'll have run out and bought a brand new card that you can use to do the restore. So if you lose this card, you can always restore easily and quickly with the backup. Now, another thing you can do from the settings is to tap these 3 dots. And we want to go into the recovery section here. We can back up the card again. So if we choose backup card, we'll get a new recovery card that we wish to back up on. So basically we can purchase. Well, of course, we'll have to purchase new backup cards, but we can imprint or back up our working card to virtually unlimited amount of backup cards. And by the same token, if we lose a card and have to buy a new one and restore to it, we can also do that ahead of time as well. We could buy multiple new cards. You could create additional working cards as well. So this is a very flexible system. You can have as many backup cards as you want to one type of wallet card, and then you could buy multiple cards and restore to multiple cards so that you have a large set of cards that manage that one wallet. So as I demonstrated, the Descent S card gets very high marks for simplicity, security, and versatility. As I mentioned, you can create as many copies of the card as you would like, and as many copies of the backups that you would like. So it's a very versatile solution. Let's talk about the drawbacks. There are always drawbacks. First of all, this is a card geared towards beginners. It is a hidden seed solution or a seedless option so that you don't get exposed to the backup seed. Now, many people prefer the backup seed because it gives them an assurance that they can store written down on paper offline, and it also gives them interoperability between different types of hardware wallets. The Descent S card is definitely a proprietary solution. The key is generated in the standard BIP39 format, but because you don't get a backup phrase, there is no way to export this wallet to any other type of wallet. But that can be looked on as a feature by many people because it saves you from being tricked into revealing your seed phrase or losing it or writing it down incorrectly. So with simplicity, there is a little bit of trade-off on inter-wallet operability. And since it's a proprietary solution, you are basically relying on the Descent company. Now, if Descent were to go out of business, your wallet would continue to work. As long as you have your cards and your backups, your crypto is safe. But even if you were worried if Descent were to go out of business, which they aren't, I'll add, they're a solid company, they've been around for years. But if they were to go out of business, your crypto is not locked in the cards. It can be moved in and out just like any other crypto wallet. So if you were suddenly to lose confidence in their solution, you could simply transfer your crypto somewhere else. But of course, I want to give you this information so that you can make an informed decision about whether or not the Descent S wallet is right for you. I think it's a very versatile solution, and I think it's great for beginners. It may not be right for everyone, but a lot of people ask me what's the best hardware wallet, and that's like asking someone what's the best car. It completely depends on your budget, your use case, and your level of expertise. I personally use a lot of different types of wallets for my own personal self-custody. I use Ledger, I use Trezor, I use Descent, I use Tangem. There's no reason why you have to restrict yourself to one brand. But if you're a beginner, I would highly recommend a solution like the Descent S wallet card. It's a great solution and, like I said, very versatile. If you have any additional questions about the Descent S or anything I did in this video, please throw them up in the comments and I'll do my best to get them answered. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to subscribe to my channel, I would appreciate it. When you subscribe, there's a little bell that you can click that will allow you to be alerted whenever I post new content. Once again, thanks for joining me and hope to see you again soon.